So lesson 87 is talking about arrays. Arrays are a group of orderly pictures or things put in a rectangular shape. So here we have the group of eggs, a dozen eggs put in 2 rows with 6 eggs in each, okay? So the top row and then the bottom row. And then we have the columns, all right? Here we have an array of yummy looking donuts, okay? We have 1, 2, 3 rows, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we are talking about that, we can find out the total. Sure, we can count, but we can also go how many rows there are times how many columns there are. And so we will be looking at this. We will be making groups of arrays, and we're putting them in an orderly fashion on our papers. So you have a piece of paper that has a whole bunch of squares on like this. Grab that paper and we'll continue. Let's pretend that those circles up there are the yummy chocolate candies that you get in a Valentine's box. Okay, so we are going to make an array that has those groups of candies. We have a box of candies like this. Okay? How many rows do we have? Now remember, rows are the ones that go across. So we have 1, 2 rows. Now, how many columns do we have? Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Okay? So if we could count to see how many candies we get to eat, or we could make a multiplication problem. So we could do 2 rows, so we would write 2 groups of, or 2 rows of, say how many columns are there? There is 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So then we would do 2 rows times 4 columns equals, what is the product? You are right, Claire, it is 8. There are 8 candies in that box. Okay, moving on to another one. Let's make one that looks like this. Okay, so we are going to have a box of candy, or an array, okay, that has candy in each of these squares. Okay, so first we want to know how many rows there are. Rows go like this. That means how many groups there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 rows times in each, then there are how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So 5 times 4 equals 20. So that box of candy is bigger. We have 20 candies in this box. Okay, I have now drawn another array here. And we're going to move on, and instead of having us write the rows and write the number of columns, they just want us to do a shortcut way. Okay, so the shortcut way is to just count in your head and figure out how many rows. Remember, rows go like this. So how many rows do I have there? Correct, 6. So I just write the number 6. I don't have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like we did over here. You can just write the number. So it'll say on your worksheet, label the array. And that means you need to write how many rows there are. And then on the top, you need to write how many columns there are. How many columns does this one have, Micah? Right, there are 3 columns. So we would label it like this. So when your worksheet says label the array, you need to write how many rows there are, and then how many columns there are. So you write the number on the side and on top. Then we need to think about the number sentence. Okay, so we would write this number sentence for this array, we would write it like this. 6 times, or multiplied, or groups of, as we like to say, 3 equals 18. Okay, so we're taking the 6 rows, multiplying it times 3, and that gives us 18. Oh, Micah, you have a comment? Oh, you are right, Micah. We have not been labeling this. We should be labeling them. So we should say candies, because that's what we are talking about. So each one should say candies behind. Thanks, Micah. Okay, so your assignment will be talking about making arrays. And arrays are a way that we can see to multiply, to help us multiply. I hope you all have been making your flashcards and have been practicing them. You're supposed to practice them 3 times a day. All right, good job, boys and girls. Have fun working on your math. Okay, I just want to leave you with one final message. Remember, God created us to show our greatness. Boys and girls, in these difficult times or strange times of schooling, we're not used to going to school like this, but we still need to show our greatness. Always show your greatness, no matter what happens in life. Work to be the greatest person that God created you to be. So I want you to work hard. I want you to listen to your substitutes. I want you to be good sons and daughters of God. All right, God bless you.